All right, so some very strong reactions from the PM of Dominica, Dr. Skerrit, at the backdrop of the suspension. So this is the visa-free access suspension. If you've missed my initial coverage on what this is, you can return and take a look at this video. But the summary is that UK has suspended any visa-free access on the Dominican passport. Now, a lot of you, especially my advanced polls and chat members, now if you aren't an advanced member of this channel, you can always click the link in the description. You can join the channel where we discuss some insider advanced topics. And if you have any future requests for any videos, we do call outs and we discuss a whole lot of things as part of our channel membership. There are also advanced members that have a lot to contribute and to learn from. So if you are interested, make use of that. Anyways, now towards the second part of the video, I'm also going to discuss, and this is based on the request of the community. A lot of you have asked me in the comments, a lot of my subscribers, what happens to other programs? What happens to other passports? Are they going to lose visa-free access and when? So I'm going to cover that towards the later half. But the first part of this video is to focus on the statements of the PM. There have been some strong reactions. Some people are trying, and especially a lot of people from the marketing industry are very upset because of this news. They're trying to say this is for the larger picture. There's going to be an ETA conversion in the near future, and that is why this has happened. That is absolutely false. This visa revocation hasn't happened because of the ETA conversion or anything. This is because of some abuse of the program. A lot of candidates who had prior visa rejections to the UK, they were able to get this citizenship, and that is what is being re-examined by the UK offices. The US has taken strong action as well, and they have requested some strong mechanism in place. That's a separate topic. I've covered that separately on my channel. But here, the reaction, I'm going to read out the reaction from the PM, and it says, quote, "The decision of the British government is unfortunate. It hurts me, but it shall not permanently harm us. We shall rebound. We shall effect the necessary changes. We shall continue to punch our way back from all that has beset and impacted us over the years," he stated. He also goes on to talk about how he plans to improve the due diligence, add enhanced due diligence mechanism in place to improve the program and get out of this, and then obviously with the hopes that the UK could reconsider their visa-free access in future. But for now, because of the stated abuse, this strong action has been taken. Now, before I jump to the second part, the ETA. Let's talk about the ETA a little bit. Now, ETA is not a visa-free access. A lot of marketing people will try to convince you that the visa waiver or visa-free is the same as the ETA. Nope. ETA is like a e-visa. You got to go online, you got to fill a bunch of forms, go through the different pages, submit whatever information they're requesting you. They screen that information and then they issue you an authorization. It's an approval. It's like the e-visa. You carry that with you, and you need that in order to travel. You just can't turn up at the airport. Now, Canada has this in place for certain countries. A quick example is that someone from the US has a true visa-free access. They turn up at the Canadian airports. They do not need an ETA, whereas some other countries which sit in the ETA bucket, they have to go online, get the approvals, and then plan their travel. Now, a lot of reports are claiming that there's going to be some sort of ETA conversion, and this is for that. Now, regarding the ETA conversion, Canada recently converted a lot of countries. They listed a lot of countries under the ETA umbrella. Yes, the UK plans to implement a similar system by the end of the year. Now, whether these countries are going to be added to the ETA or not is a completely separate matter. I feel a lot depends upon this whole investigation or this whole review of applications, etc. This abuse is very separate. The ETA, yes or no, is very separate. I'm going to track back if anything gets added to the ETA, of course. But again, as I said, that really depends upon what is uncovered as part of this efforts by the UK offices. And now before we get into other termination and the possibilities, a lot of you are interested and specifically asked, is it worth it? Now that really depends upon the objective. Now if you're truly desperate to get a second passport, you just want it by any means, you don't have the capacity, you just don't have the time, you want to get a second citizenship, then under certain circumstances these things can be worked out. A big thing to remember is you got to check and examine your background. If there are any inherent issues, those need to be discussed with an RCBI professional, because you're providing all of your information, a lot of your information to third parties, which is now under the lens. So you got to be careful with what information you're supplying to whom. It's always good to chat with an RCBI professional. If you are interested, you can always click that link, book a call with us. We can discuss your background a bit and see if this is the best route for you, but it's always good to get that clarified. You don't want to get into a situation and then never be able to ever file anything again if there are certain things that you got to fix first before you jump into getting a paid passport. Having said, I do like some programs, and a lot of people feel that I'm anti-CBI. Not at all. I think these are great options under certain circumstances. Now, what we do differently is we directly work with the government approved lawyers and agencies. So when you go to certain third parties, they can misguide you, but because we directly work with the government approved attorneys, the chances of any of that is obviously minuscule because they're directly communicating with the program. So if you are interested in any CBI, you can always reach us and we can get you started with the right point of contacts. And what are some of the natural options? Well, you have some great options in Mexico, there's Brazil, there is Paraguay, there's Uruguay, there's South Africa, there's Mauritius, there's the Gulf. Now a lot of people just think that there's Dubai and that's the end of it. No, that is the most expensive option. A lot of these YouTubers charge 25k, 30k and even more just to sell you Dubai, the Dubai dream. But that's not the only option. There's a lot of pollution and some other things in Dubai, but it's a great country. The pollution is consistent with any country. Let's say in the third world region, you have pollution everywhere, so that's not new. But if you're looking for alternatives which are under the radar, which are low-key, which are equally good, which provide you the same tax benefits at fraction of the cost, then you have other Gulf countries. You have Oman, which is beautiful. There's Qatar, there's Bahrain. So there are some very good options in the Gulf. It's not just about the UAE. When it comes for tax optimizations, you also have Paraguay. And then, as I said, you have other hidden gems that can always be discussed and worked out. So you can always reach us and we can get you started. Now let's jump to the final part, the conclusion of this video. What happens to other visa-free access? Well, now it has started with Dominica and Vanuatu. These accesses have been immediately terminated. They are further examining other programs. There is good likelihood, and this is again based on unconfirmed reports, but there are good chances that all other visa-free access, especially the other Caribbean nations, those accesses would be taken away. Now, what's very important to understand is that this access which gets taken away in future, is it because of the similar abuse of the CBI, or is it taken away for some larger benefit? I'm going to closely monitor and track and report, so make sure you're subscribed to my channel so you don't miss out on any key updates. Now, the whole ETA implementation has nothing to do with any of this review. As I said, ETA is a separate matter. The UK is looking at implementing that system by the end of the year for certain countries. Whether these countries get added to that or not is a completely different topic. It has nothing to do with these suspensions or revocations for abuse. So that is something very important to clarify. Now, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, make sure you're subbed, and catch you in the next one.